Have you ever wondered why it's been difficult for you to do things even after you've gone all out to, search for these things online? You actively seek motivation, you read inspirational quotes, and still you are not productive, and still you can't get things done, and still you are not consistent at what you love to do. Have you ever even thought about it before? Because right now, thinking about it again after deciding to make a video about it, it still doesn't make sense. That people would have to wait for months, for weeks, just to see someone else do something before they can do it. You're waiting for motivation. Now, I really don't, have a problem with motivation, as it were, because at some point in my career, I wanted to be motivated by things, but there was that luxury wasn't there, and I just had to go all out and do these things myself. But in a day and age where we have, people we call motivational speakers, and we have people we call social gurus or online gurus teaching you how to do certain things, what is the place of you actually finding the discipline you need to get things done for yourself and the motivation people are seeking for? Now, in this video, I want to talk about the reason why motivation is not the way to go for you as a creative if you really want to grow in your career and make something for yourself, and why discipline is a better way to go. Now, a portion of this video is sponsored by Pro Creative, and I'll talk about them, very soon. So let's get to the video. Now, it's very important that we don't mix up these two words. Actually, these two words are something that people use interchangeably, and every single time I hear another creative or someone who is well regarded talk about the fact that you need motivation to succeed, I always lose a little bit of respect and credit in them, because these two words are not the same thing. They do not mean the same thing. And let me make it clearer to you now. Let me simplify this thing for you. Let's check Google to see a better explanation of what these two words actually mean: motivation and discipline. Now, these two words, according to the dictionary, discipline is to train by instruction and exercise, for example, to drill. While motivation is a noun, which is the general desire or willingness of someone to do something. Now, if you're going to take anything away from this video or from what I'm about to tell you right now, is the fact that these definitions are giving you a clear understanding of what these two are. Obviously, discipline is a verb. It's an action word. It's something that you need to do. While motivation only ends as a noun, which means it's something that can come and go, and you barely have control over the fact that you're motivated. Many of us seek motivation for three main reasons. Number one, we are just naturally lazy. I'm a lazy person too, and I understand what this means. And then number two, we feel that we need to be, there has to be an external factor that would push us to do the things we need to do. And then number three is the fear of actually succeeding at this thing you love. Now, I don't know what you've been thinking about. I don't know the kind of ideas you've had in the past. I don't know the kind of trainings you've had. But I want to tell you this, that to be motivated at something, to be inspired by something, to be inspired to do something, it takes a whole lot more from you, because it takes time, compared to when you decide to be disciplined and dedicate your time and effort to a particular thing. Now, many persons don't talk about the fact that when you actively seek for the things that you want to be inspired by, you're wasting precious time on something that you could actually have, built up yourself, gain discipline, master the skill to be able to do these things. Now, I believe that calling someone disciplined as a general personality trait is a weak description, in my opinion, because even the most habitual persons has something they are not including in their daily behaviors. It doesn't matter how disciplined I am generally about reading books. If I want to start practicing my coding lessons daily, it's a totally new habit, and I need to treat it as such. So when you're looking to change something in your life, there are three main things you should look out for. And the first one now is to let motivation inspire you, but don't expect it to stick around. The second thing now is to focus on building disciplined actions around that new thing. And then the third thing now is to get specific in what discipline will look like for your specific goal. Now, just to take it a step further, to understand what kind of discipline routines or discipline measures can you take to build this thing for yourself. Now, the first is knowing what is yours and what isn't, knowing what you're capable of and what you're not capable of. Oftentimes, when we talk about setting and achieving a new habit or a goal, we mention the motivation for what got us going on the path. And that's great. But what we need now is an initial nudge to keep the ball rolling. Now, the problem now is that when this ball starts rolling, it never needs to stop. The moment it stops, you spiral back into that position of you not being consistent, and this lasts for another long time. Trust me, the daily grind sucks, and I know this firsthand. And even if it is working on something you love, it's a lot harder. Motivation is a wonderful thing to take advantage of when it strikes. It usually gives you the power to focus on productivity, and when you use it, it's actually beneficial to you. But motivation is finite. It gets to a point where it won't be there. So what happens when the motivation isn't there? What happens when you have to wake up in the middle of the night to get started with the project and you don't have your resources available, you don't have internet, for example, or, well, I'm talking about Nigerians now, or you don't have the access to these places and these persons that inspires you or motivates you? What do? Because the fact that motivation is finite makes it not a good thing to, lay all your creative eggs or put all your creative eggs in the basket of motivation. Now, before we move further, let me quickly talk to you about what Procreative is. Now, many of you already know what Procreative is. It's a space where creatives get to learn how to simplify their lives and also understand how to be more productive in their career. But this time around, it has been formed into a mentorship program, a one-on-one virtual mentorship program that helps you to do three main things. It helps you to simplify your life, it helps you to uplift your productivity, and allows you to build a legacy and also earn from it. So if you fall into the description, if you want to simplify your life, uplift your productivity, and also earn from what you do currently, I feel this is tailored for you. Now, if you want to sign up, this particular session will be running for 6 months, from September 2021 to February 2022, and the session will be is open already actually. So if you want to register or sign up, you can sign up at procreative.com/mentorship. Just check the link in the description or on your screen right now, procreative.com/mentorship. I'll probably wait for you, you want to sign up right away. Just go ahead, sign up, and we can come back to the video. So that's what Procreative is, and if you're interested, please go ahead and sign up. It will be beneficial to you. Now, getting back to our point. This is where discipline actually comes in place. You want to do things for yourself. You want to do something you love, but you don't have the energy to put it to place. You don't have the strength. You don't have the means. Now, it feels really incredible to be motivated, but then it gets to a point where you need to go beyond motivation to a place where you become more disciplined. This is where discipline comes to place. As much as we may not want to admit it, humans are extremely automated in their daily lives. What was the last time you had to stop and think slowly about the process of getting out of bed and ending up in the office or at work? The more you think about it, the more things you can probably list that you don't even consciously think about in your daily patterns. And this scares some persons because they feel that they have no control over their lives and they are just following a routine that was premeditated for them at the moment they got their jobs or they started living their adulthood life. But the fact is this, that many of us are creatures of habit, in the sense that there are patterns to the way we do our things. You wake up in the morning, you brush your teeth, have a cup of coffee or drink tea or take breakfast, and then from there you get to work. In commute, you're probably listening to a podcast or doing something else. You get to work, do your daily work, get back home, have fun with your family and friends, and then maybe check social media for a while, and then go back to bed, and the same process repeats itself time and time again. Now, you understand this. You're a creature of habits. Then make sure that you're building habits that allow you to be more productive and much more creative. Now, by understanding how we establish and practice habits each day, we can figure out how to implement beneficial ones and remove the burdensome ones. When we begin something new, we must focus a lot of our brain power on it because it's out of that ordinary and we are learning how to do that thing right. But then it takes diligence and smart practice to actually get this thing done and build habits that are beneficial to your life. Now, you should know this, that habits won't last forever, right? Habits come and go, but then deciding to be disciplined in executing them or actualizing them is where the key is. And one of those things I can tell you right now is try to develop the 2-day rule. And the 2-day rule simply means that if you are trying to build a new habit or get on a particular project or do something new that you've never done before, and it's a consistent thing, do not skip that particular action 2 days in a row. If, for example, you decide to sleep in today and not wake up early, maybe get to work around 11 as a freelancer, the next day you must not repeat the same action, because once you do, it becomes a spiral, or you spiral down the same loop and you become a complacent person. So if you skip an habit today, make sure it doesn't repeat itself 2 days in a row. And if you go back and listen to everything we talked about in this video, I feel you really understand better how to properly leverage the discipline you need as a creative. Now, if this is something you feel you need additional help getting through, this is why Pro Creative has been created, and it's really help you if you want to stay clear, simplify your life, uplift your productivity, and also earn while doing the things you love. So if you want to sign up, just go to procreative.com/mentorship and sign up for the program. It actually starts in a few days, but then the session will be running from from August ending. That's first week in September, actually, first week in September till the end of February.